When Justin announced his new album last week, he wrote, quote, "In creating this album, my goal is to make music that will provide comfort, to make songs that people can relate to and connect to so they feel less alone." And Justin Bieber is detailing the dark side of growing up in the spotlight in his new emotional ballad called Lonely. And you might want to grab the tissues for this one.
Is Justin Bieber's new song Ghost about ex-girlfriend Selena Gomez? One fan tweeted, quote, "Justin Bieber wrote Ghost about Selena Gomez, you cannot prove me wrong." Another fan tweeted, quote, "Listen, I'm not a Jelena shipper, and I'm not even one to throw Selena into everything involving Justin because at the end of the day, they're two separate people living two separate lives. But Ghost screams Selena, like, screams her."
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposing SMG. We have a lot of tea to discuss today, so sit back, relax, and get ready, because in this video we are going to talk about hidden meanings in Justin Bieber's album Justice. If you enjoy videos like these, please let us know down in the comments below. We have done quite a few lyric analysis videos, such as Demi Lovato's Dancing with the Devil album, Miley Cyrus's Plastic Hearts album, and even Selena Gomez's Rare album. So let us know other artists you'd like us to cover. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Without further ado, here are 5 songs in which Justin spills more tea than the general public has caught on. Number 1. Ghost. A song about missing someone or losing someone. When this album first came out, everyone was freaking out because they thought it was a song about missing Selena Gomez. Yes, even 2 years into Justin's marriage, and people still think he's releasing songs about Selena. The main reason people thought this song was about Selena was because of the lyrics. "Since the love that you left is all that I get, I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life." Honestly, these sound like lyrics of a person mourning the loss of another rather than a relationship. According to Justin, this song is about dealing with the loss of a loved one, and he literally sings, "Young blood thinks there's always tomorrow. I miss your touch on nights when I'm hollow. I know you crossed the bridge that I can't follow." Cross the bridge that I can't follow, because he's talking about death. When the hype was on about this song being about Selena, Justin actually reposted a fan-made video of this song playing while showing a fan he used to know well named Avalana. For those of you who don't know, Avalana was a little child who was a fan of Justin's, who got to spend her last few moments with him. It was a hard loss for him and many others who were keeping up with his time with her. It was said that this song is actually written for her and for anyone else who can relate with the loss of a loved one. Number 2. Unstable. Unstable is a song about Justin's struggles with mental health and how through all of his problems, Hailey was always there for him. Justin sings about having anxiety, constantly overthinking, and depression. Justin and Hailey have had a very confusing relationship timeline to the public, and if you are interested in this, you can read a post I have written about them, about what was going on behind closed doors and what was going on in the public's view. Justin and Hailey's relationship publicly stems all the way to 2015, and during that time, Justin was one of the biggest musicians out there with the Purpose era. He dealt with a lot of mental health struggles being in the industry at such a young age, and in this song he sings about how Hailey never left his side, no matter how many times he pushed her away. He sings, "There were times I couldn't even breathe, but you never once abandoned me. I tried to scare you away, showed you the door, you adored me anyway. When I was broken in pieces, you were my peace of mind." What Hailey was to Justin during that time, and even now, is mental stability. It sounds mean, but it's true. She came into the relationship with less baggage than he did, and it definitely has to do with the fact that she didn't experience the same music industry as he did. So while she was someone who grew up sort of famous, she didn't see the world he saw. In easier words, Hailey balanced Justin out because she came from a similar world that he understood, but without all the abuse. He continues on saying, "Yeah, you loved me when I was unstable, never judged me when I was unable to love myself, to trust myself. Not every wound is the kind that bleeds, never know when my mind's gonna turn on me, but you are the one I call for security." Number 3. As I Am. As I mentioned previously, when no one believed in Justin's recovery, Hailey believed in him. And yes, this goes all the way back to 2015, and in this album, Justin is in a state of shock about how Hailey never left his side, no matter how many times he's messed up and given her reason to. He sings, "By myself sometimes, to give my mind some space. Yeah, I know that it hurts when I push your love away, I hate myself." Once again, emphasizing the pushing away he did during the early Hailey days. "I want to tell you lies so your heart won't break. Yeah, I know that I made my fair share of mistakes. Sometimes I don't know why you love me. Sometimes I don't know why you care. Take me with the good and the ugly, say I'm not going anywhere." Justin admits to making a lot of mistakes with Hailey, but in this album, he hopes that the general public knows how much she means to him and how much she's actually helped him. Throughout Hailey's years, people have always made Hailey seem as if she was Justin's second choice. And even though Justin does have a part to play in this narrative, it wasn't because he felt that way about her, but rather constantly making mistakes with her in the public eye. I mean, how many times did he claim and publicly date other girls who weren't Hailey? Many. And I believe it's because with Hailey, he didn't want to mess things up with her. So he always opted for girls he didn't stress about being with, because he knew they weren't his forever. Hailey had the option of being his forever, which is why the pressure of that idea alone caused him to push her away and run away. The only other girl who held that spot was Selena. Instead of getting angry at Justin for his trust issues, Hailey stood patiently by his side, and that's why in this song, Justin literally says, "I want to tell you lies so your heart won't break. You were there for me when I was acting selfish, and you prayed for me when I was out of faith. You believed in me when ain't nobody else did. It's a miracle you didn't run away." Number 4. Deserve You. Keeping the Hailey worship theme, we have Deserve You. This song is about Justin questioning if he deserves Hailey and wondering how she sees him in such a positive light when he sees himself so low. Even though Hailey brings a lot of good to Justin's life, I want to mention that he does pick up his weight in the relationship as well. But because of the rocky past they had together, Justin feels guilty. He feels guilty because of how he acted towards Hailey and made her wait for him all this time, because he couldn't give her a relationship. And when he did, they both jumped to get married. I'm sure the first year of marriage was hard, as Justin says there was a lot of trust issues, and it can be said that those trust issues came from their rocky relationship start. There was a lot they didn't unpack before jumping to get married, because they actually cared about each other and loved each other, so they made it work. Of course, Justin does realize all of his mistakes now, and that's why in Deserve You he sings, "When I'm in my thoughts, sometimes it's hard to believe I'm the person you think I am, the person you tell me you love. I feel like I don't deserve you tonight. It's the way you hold me, I don't deserve you tonight. I can tend to hold things back, I need you more than I let you believe I do. 'Cause you could think it might be too much, I don't want to be my past." Emphasis on the "I don't want to be my past" part, because Justin does have a fear of being his old and traditional douchebag self. Number 5. Lonely. Lonely was one of the first songs to be released from this era, and I remember it touched a lot of people's hearts because it's a song about growing up in the industry and feeling completely alone and depressed. We do have a video made about how Hollywood destroyed Justin Bieber, and in this video we get into the details of why Justin felt lonely and what he was going through exactly. After hearing all the praise Justin gives Hailey on this album, we get to finally hear a little bit of what Justin went through and why he gives Hailey all this credit. Justin sings about how everyone knows his name and how after all this time it still feels strange, and the pressure of being in the industry and going through all of that emotional abuse has been killing him. He says that maybe when he's older this feeling will calm down, but for now it's killing him. He sings, "What if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you'd know me. 'Cause I've had everything, but no one's listening, and that's just lonely." This is the sad reality of most singers being in an industry as fast-paced and stimulating as the music industry. It has many, many, many downfalls. The highs are unbelievable and amazing, but the lows are so bad it could be physically exhausting. A person like Justin, who has gone through so many stimulating things in his life, will constantly be in a mindset of, my highs are amazing, but my lows can kill me. There is a reason why Justin is constantly posting about finding himself and finding God, because there was once a time where his life consisted of partying, doing drugs, and hooking up. Nobody actually wants to live a lifestyle like that, where there is no real meaning in your life, and that's why Justin fell so hard, because he is naturally a person who wants to be surrounded by purpose and meaning. And when he had none, it was almost as if he wasn't functioning as a normal person at all. Today, we still see Justin struggling, but we can all agree that he is in a much, much better place than his past life. We can't wait to see what the future holds for Justin as he continues to grow from being a teenage heartthrob to an adult. Let us know what you think in the comments below about Justin's entire mindset, and which song off of Justice do you like? Thanks, and I'll see you next time.